Hello, everybody, and happy Monday, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. We have a couple images to go through today. We've got from Theo, Ubed, and we'll make this a little bigger, and also from Matt with a really, really cool breakdown and paint over here from Superbad, I believe. Not a film that I don't think I've ever seen a Superbad submission for something like this. So I want to applaud you for that, because it's true. Like even like movies that are straight up like Michael Cera, Jonah Hill comedies about, teenager stuff, is like there's still filmmakers and cinematographers who are brilliant and do incredible work. And like, it's not always about it being Dunkirk. It's like, sometimes it's about every shot in every film has an opportunity to be really beautiful. So good job with that. Okay. We've got Ubed here. So we'll go ahead. Hello, Ubed. I don't know if you're able to unmute and say hello, but hello. Okay. So, so we've got your reference here, and most of this is from Luca, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the biggest thing about this is like this, because I'm sure you've seen, if anyone's ever tried to light a night scene, one of the things that you notice, I have a sneeze, hold on. Excuse me. One of the things that you notice is the sheer number of different ways that you can interpret like moonlight and basically the blues in a night scene. So in this Pixar one, you see a lot of the opportunity for a lot of very rich kind of purpley magenta blues that are pretty bright. And I'm guessing that you just through experience, you tweak those based on the moods and the emotions of the scene, whether it's like, this one's a little bit less saturated, a little bit more contrasty, but that's kind of the general feel of it. Now what they're also doing is so the blue is all natural, right? That's where the heavens touch, right, in terms of where like the skies and where nature pushes the light. The orangey glow is anywhere that's like man-made, right? So like this is a great example of that. So it's like anywhere where there's people and civilization, that's kind of our focus. That's where like a pretty large swath of orange is, and it's also used as like a framing mechanism or a way to get us to look at where we need to go. So for this, I think you've got a really nice base of light. I think you can actually push the saturation and make it more like that blue purple, as well as the intensity. I think you can make it a little bit brighter to match this stuff. And then also pay attention to like, it's in some points it's almost like it's not quite like sunlight, but you can see where there's like hits of light on top of this railing. There's specular highlights here on the telescope, and like look how much shaping is coming across his shoulder. Like the bright side of it is fairly bright. And so I really do think that you could push this a little bit stronger, and then in terms of the color scheme, kind of get away from these greens a little bit and push it more into the magenta range. We'll pull out a little bit of the yellow too. Probably something more like this. To get that kind of like warm. It's like a warm night sky. It's a very cozy feeling. And then for your warm light, I think you can go a little bit warmer with that. Probably should have isolated that before I cooled it all off. But let's grab these. And then like you can push these into a much warmer realm to kind of balance that out, and really like use that as your main visual play on this shot, is that warm versus cool. And you can see it go from this to this, and then just push more opportunities. So I think since we're in a little bit closer, it would be great to see if there's, I'm trying to think of like the bike race sequence, or in some other areas. Well, I think that was daytime. If there's any night sequences inside the town, because what I'm looking for is how they portray life inside the windows. And what my guess is, it's going to be like warm light like this, but silhouettes of things, like little vignettes of, somebody making dinner, or just people sitting around reading, or whatever the case, or maybe it's just furniture and you don't actually see the people. But I think what we would see more of is lights in these windows, with silhouettes of life back there, and then the shadow in here is pretty sharp. I would soften that because although it's like you think of it as like moonlight, the moonlight is actually directed reflected light from the sun, so it actually does come in pretty soft. And yeah, got the direction of it coming down this way, and then just make sure you're trying to get some more shaping on these back rocks back here. But that's mostly how I would go with this. This is a cool scene though. Where'd you get this from? Did you make this?
No, it was like provided by Epic on Marketplace.
Oh, got it. Yeah, but it's cool. Like I think your project as a whole is a very cool idea. A great reference. I think you're off to a good start. I think it's gonna be a cool project.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. All right, let's hop over into Matt's super bad breakdown. So I love these. I love the triangle of light that you were able to identify here. This is very Last Supper-y. It's really good, and I think it's nice that it just picks up just the trickle of what look like were those like Hot Pockets or something? No, not Hot Pockets. The pizza rolls that kind of get picked up there in the corner. This is nice, but like the lighting on him is great. It's like this top-down kind of rim lighting that's picking up his individual hair, that's hitting the ground here, that's bouncing light up into his face and creating the shaping up in there. But yeah, definitely focused on him. All the leading lines back here. Yeah, this is really cool stuff. And then I also like the light coming down the stairs that's hitting Jonah Hill in a little bit of a rim type of a fashion to like lead him off into a different space, which I think is really nice. But yeah, just like a note here again, because there's no interior lights, like how much light is actually bouncing around this room just from the key light hitting the ground here. And also like we know that there's a window up there without seeing it, because we can see like this little bit of light coming in here, and then the bounce light coming back up. So it's a very cool shot, very lovely addition. Thank you for adding that. All right, and then last up we have Theo. Okay, so Theo, I think this is moving along really well. Let's go take this down a little bit. I think that the background is looking a lot better. I think we can get a little bit more of the blue color from the sky onto the buildings, because it's got like a little bit of that blue touch. Light bulbs look good. That stuff fall off look good. All right, for the character, I think we can go. I love the shaping that we're getting now is working so much better. The biggest thing for me is the wing is getting the brunt of the light. And what we want, and like our eye is going to the wing. And what we want is for that, it doesn't necessarily need to be quite that bright, but we need that focused more on his face. And so, and like also, and like, let me just try this real quick. Let me see if I can get this to work. If I can make his face a little brighter, a little bit more in there. Ooh. Go ahead and take down some of the saturation because that's too much. Okay, now take this down here. Really kind of focus that into the key sides of the face there. Now for the wing. What we're going to want to do is really take that down kind of the opposite way. Do the same thing with the saturation, because anytime you tweak those values, you mess with the saturation a little bit too. Okay, so that's pretty rough, but make this a little bit brighter, I think, now that we have that. Okay, this is a little bit extreme, but if you look, you can see the way that the focus is now shifting from the wing onto his face. And I think that's what we want to do. So we want that light to kind of creep to scrape along there. And then I think the patterning that you're getting on his chest, again, I'm pointing at the screen like a doofus. The texturing that you're getting on there, it looks really cool. But I feel it like again in the diffuse and the bump a little bit, and I want to feel it more specky. And same thing on the wing. I want the wing to be less diffuse, more specular value. And I'm going to keep saying that because we really, really, really want to push it. Rarely do we see it go too far. Another good way of doing it too that we found is to make another scene and add a shader to it that keeps that bump, but it's like totally wet feeling and like super specky on the sides. And what you can do is you can take that and then use that as a layer in the final image and just kind of paint in some extra spec into things as well. Do you guys, anybody else that's online right now, do you guys have any comments about really any of these? I guess I didn't stop talking this whole time to leave breathing room for anybody else to say anything. What do you any other thoughts on these? Yeah, I think that just getting that focus in there will be a big help, because I think this is coming along really nicely. Yeah, definitely looking cool. All right, great. Well, that is all for today, everybody. Thanks so much for joining in. Man, I keep forgetting to do updates at the beginning, but I'll do them now and I'll do it tomorrow. Reminder, if anybody, I'm still working on getting that animation file from the Griffin Academy. They said they were going to look into it more. It was one of those it was a small problem that we thought was an easy fix, but it is not. So they're going to take a look at it again today. I think that's it. Oh, and if anybody is wanting to participate and join us in a little TikTok takeover time, we are looking for some collaborations from people who want to showcase their work, show off some stuff, maybe interact with the community a little bit more through our TikTok account would be great. So let me know. DM me if you guys want. Anything else? Anybody got anything else? I think that's it. All right. Enjoy your day, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Happy lighting, y'all.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.